Your phone vibrates. You jump. You check the screen before the second buzz even fades. You've already lost. Most men think the game of attraction is played out there. In the bars, on the apps, in the clever lines they've memorized. They are wrong. The game is played in the 3 inches between your ears. Modern dating is a chaotic storm of noise. It's a race to the bottom where the most desperate voice loses. You've been told to chase. You've been told to pursue. You've been told that if you want her, you have to prove your worth. That is not attraction. That is a transaction. And you are overpaying. Stop. Breathing. Stop. Chasing. A Stoic does not chase the butterfly. He builds a garden so beautiful that the butterfly has no choice but to land. And if it doesn't, the garden remains. The man remains. Look at your hands right now. Are they steady? Or are they twitching for that notification? When she speaks, do you listen to the words? Or are you already rehearsing your next desperate attempt to impress her? She is speaking a language you don't understand, not because it's complex, but because you are too loud to hear it. There are 5 specific things she will say, sentences that sound like casual conversation to the average man, but are actually invitations into her world. Most men miss them because they are drowning in their own reactivity. But today, the roles reverse. Today, you stop being the prey. You become the observer. The first sign is the most subtle. It's not a compliment. It's a question about your most valuable asset. She speaks. You hear words. But are you listening to the intent? A Stoic observes the world as it is, not as he fears it to be. When a woman is drawn to your stillness, your apatheia, she will test the waters. She won't hand you a map. She will give you clues. Sign number 1, the future projection. She asks, "What are you doing this weekend?" The reactive man hears a schedule. He fumbles. He clears his calendar. He offers himself up like a sacrifice. The Stoic hears an invitation to lead. She isn't asking for your time. She is asking if your time is worth her effort. If she projects a future with you, even a small one, she is checking if there is space in your garden. Sign number 2, the standard probe. What is your type? Or what do you look for in a woman? Most men think this is a chance to compliment her. They say, "Someone like you?" Wrong. This is a test of your internal compass. She is looking for a man with boundaries, a man who chooses, not a man who accepts anything that breathes. If she asks about your standards, she wants to know if she can meet them. Sign number 3, the playful provocation. She mocks your tie. She laughs at your choice of coffee. She challenges your opinion. The reactive man gets defensive. His pulse rises. His palms sweat. He explains himself. The Stoic remains unshakable. He knows this is not an insult. This is a compliance test. She is pushing against your frame to see if it bends. If you don't bend, you are a mountain. And women don't want to build on sand. They want a mountain. Sign number 4, the vulnerability shift. She tells you about a small struggle, a bad day at work, a conflict with a friend. Most men try to fix it. They offer solutions. They become the nice guy mechanic. She doesn't want a mechanic. She wants a witness. When she shares her inner chaos, she is seeing if your presence can neutralize it. She is checking if your silence is stronger than her noise. Sign number 5, the contrast observation. You're not like other guys. Don't smile yet. This is the most dangerous sign. It's not a compliment. It's an observation of your frequency. She has spent her life surrounded by men who are loud, desperate, and predictable. When she says you are different, she means she has finally found a mystery she cannot solve with a simple text. But here is the trap. Most men hear these 5 signs and they lose their cool. They lean in too far. They break the silence. Understanding these signs is only 10% of the battle. The real power comes from how you respond. Because there is a specific Stoic law, the law of non-reaction. that turns a simple conversation into a soul-deep attraction. But before we master the response, we must confront the biggest enemy in the room. And no, it's not her. It's the version of you that is terrified of losing. You think you are competing with other men? You aren't. You are competing with a ghost. The ghost of your own insecurity. In a recent study of modern social dynamics, it was revealed that 82% of men feel an immediate spike in cortisol, the stress hormone, when a woman doesn't reply to a text within 30 minutes. 82%. Think about that. Nearly every man you see on the street is living in a state of biological panic. His heart rate climbs, his palms sweat. His brain begins to spin a web of, what did I do wrong? This is the reactive man. He is a slave to the external. He is a leaf in the wind. If she smiles, he is a king. If she frowns, he is a beggar. He has no center. He has no ataraxia, the Stoic state of robust tranquility. He reacts to the silence. He reacts to the test. He reacts to the ghost. The reactive man thinks that by doing more, he will gain control. More texts, more gifts, more explanations. But in the world of high-level attraction, more is less. Every move he makes out of fear is a nail in the coffin of her desire. Desire cannot breathe in the presence of desperation. Have you felt it? That tightness in your chest when she pulls away? That urge to fix the vibe? That is your enemy. That is the internal chaos that she senses long before you even open your mouth. A woman's intuition is a radar for weakness. If you are vibrating with anxiety, she will feel it through the floorboards. But the Stoic knows a secret that the reactive man will never understand. There is a way to turn that cortisol into fuel. There is a way to use the silence not as a void, but as a weapon of massive attraction. It's called the Stoic pivot. And once you learn it, you will never look at a woman or yourself the same way again. Now, the pivot. How do you respond when she drops those 5 signs? The reactive man leans in. He rewards the sign with a flood of attention. He thinks he's winning. He is actually suffocating the spark. The Stoic does something different. He uses the law of least effort. Attraction is not a push. It is a pull. When she asks, "What are you doing this weekend?" Don't hand her your itinerary. Don't prove you're available. Give her a Stoic pause. Wait 2 seconds longer than is comfortable. Then speak with brevity. "I'm working on a project. Why do you ask?" You aren't being rude. You are being sovereign. You are showing her that your world does not stop spinning just because she knocked on the door. When she tests your standards or mocks your style, don't defend. Don't explain. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." In dating, the best response to a test is a smirk. A slight tilt of the head. Silence. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Look her in the eyes and let the silence sit between you, like a heavy velvet curtain. The man who can sit in silence without flinching is the man who cannot be controlled. This is the power of the pivot. It's not about ignoring her. It's not about playing games. It's about being the prize. Most men use words to fill the space because they are afraid of what she might think. The Stoic uses space to let her wonder what he is thinking. If she is the one talking, she is the one investing. If she is the one investing, she is the one becoming attached. Can you feel the shift in power? When you stop trying to get her and start simply being yourself? But there is a final stage, a realization that separates the man who uses Stoicism to get girls from the man who actually is Stoic. It's the difference between a costume and a character. And it all comes down to one terrifying question you must ask yourself before the night ends. But what if she doesn't respond? What if the silence lasts forever? The Stoic embraces amor fati, the love of fate. If she stays, it is good. If she leaves, It is also good, because your worth is not a fluctuating stock market controlled by her interest. It is a fortress you built yourself. That's not indifference. That's emotional sovereignty. When you truly love your fate, you stop being a beggar for attention. You become the source. But there is a final stage. One terrifying question that separates the boy wearing a Stoic mask from the man who has actually mastered his soul? Most men are too afraid to ask it. Are you? Here is the question most men are too terrified to ask. If she never texts back, who am I? If your identity shatters because a screen stayed dark, you weren't a Stoic. You were a performer. You were wearing a mask of strength while your soul was begging for permission to exist. This is not about getting a woman. This is about reclaiming the territory of your own mind. When you master these 5 signs, when you apply the Stoic pivot, you aren't just becoming more attractive, you are becoming sovereign. You stop being a guest in her life. You stop being a victim of her mood. You stop being a slave to your own pulse. Attraction is merely a side effect of a man who has found something more important than attraction: purpose, stillness, self-respect, self-identification. Question: look in the mirror tonight. Do you see a man who is waiting for a notification? Or do you see a man who is busy building an empire whether she watches or not? That is not coldness. That is the highest form of emotional maturity. The greatest power you will ever have is the power to walk away and mean it. Not as a tactic, not as a game, but because your garden is already full. The phone vibrates again. Don't look.